Well, hello there again, friends. Welcome back to the channel. Grab your cup of coffee because I'm Paulie and this is Paulie's Power Hour. All right, well, you might notice that we're back in the Malibu, the Malibu. We're out cruising. Gonna go to some interesting places, and then we're gonna end up at my buddy Rich's house because he's gonna help me weld a V-band on the header on that side. And we're gonna clean up some wiring and, you know, do my what you call it, alternator charging wire. We're gonna do that as well. So it's going to be a fun-filled day, but first we're going to drive around and do some sightseeing because why not? We've got the car. Let's go cruise. Ah, piss. All right, so we're not going to cruise right now because my alternator is not charging. That could either be the alternator itself, the battery, or maybe that cable. I don't know, but piss. So while we're on the way back, I just wanted to take a moment and just clarify that I'm not upset by any stretch of the imagination. This stuff happens when you have older cars. This is a game that if you're not willing to accept that risk, that sometimes you might have to work on it, then, you know, maybe you need a Hyundai with a 10-year warranty. I don't know. But it's an accepted risk, so you got to work on it. That's the fun. You know, the fun of it's working on it, and then after you're done working on it and wrenching on it, get out there and drive it. So, yeah, you might get a little frustrated, but out of that frustration, you must build success. So, start with an piss and finish with a hell yeah. So, let's go back, get changed, and then fix this darn thing so we can go out driving. Well, piss. Doesn't look like it's charging. Alright, so the alternator's putting out 14.3 volts. And the battery's not seeing any of it. Alright, so this tells me that either I've got a wiring issue or my battery has a bad cell. Maybe. I don't know yet. So here's what we're going to do. I've been saying for a while I want to clean up all this wiring, and that's what we're going to do because I knew this was going to screw me at some point, and I have a feeling it's screwing me right now. So I do have this wire that we are going to now use for our primary charging wire instead of this speaker wire here, and we're going to route it properly. And then I also got these from my local auto parts store, the same things I have on Big Mama. I'm not going to pop her hood, but this secures the terminal, and then your accessories go on here, and we are going to run the wire, fix all this up, sort it out, and see if I get the battery to charge. If not, then I'm going to take it up to my local auto parts store and have the charging system tested, and they can load test the battery for me and tell me really what's going on here. So, all right, so as always, the first thing we want to do is disconnect the battery and take the negative off. And actually, we're going to end up taking both off because it's just the way we're going to do it today. All right, so I've run the charging wire in the same manner the old one was run. So I'm going to go ahead and terminate it. On and tight. I did put this stuff back on here to protect it. I have run it down through where it originally ran, and underneath all this, and it's tucked away in that. And And now we just need to measure and terminate it here. So I'm going to cut it right here to give me a little bit of slack. Strip this back a little bit. Got my razor knife here. Now what I'm going to use, so I'm going to crunch this down with some vice grips first. Alright, now that that's crimped, I like to take a punch and a hammer and make a dimple. So you make a nice little dimple in here, and that helps. And then I'll take this. So this is all tight. All my accessory wires are on here. I've run this back down through. Oh, this is going to get tied up later. All right, cool, great, glorious, grand. Now we're going to do the negative wire in the same fashion that we did the positive. So I got this here, right? My negative, I usually like to have these straight up and down. That's just one of my things, but I want to keep it away from the tire because I have no wheel wells. So I'm going to eventually replace this positive wire because it's stretched too tight here. But that's another day. So yeah, there we go. So this is going to run like this. It's going to get zip tied to that. It's all connected, and now I've got true side posts. So now if the battery is indeed bad, I can now go to any auto parts store, get a side terminal battery for either a 2003 Silverado, which is what the 6-liter came out of. All right, let's fire this thing up and see what happens. Hey! Yeah. 14.1 here at the battery. Hell yeah, I'll take that. One thing you want to keep in mind is removing your spark plugs. Originally from the show, this was hammered on here. They tack welded it in place and it leaked like a sieve. You can see where it was leaking all through here. And that's not good, and that's right near my O2 sensor, which was causing a leak. And actually you can see where, you can see right here where it was leaking exhaust. So I was originally going to just put a collector on here, but Rich was going to report me to the horsepower police and have me deported. So instead, what we're doing, instead of ruining a good set of headers, I bought this V-band. And we're going to put this V-band on here. We're going to put this end of the V-band on here. Boom. Now I know you're wondering why 2.5-inch exhaust, and I found out why. So first off, we had to drop all of this because it's tack welded, whatever, no big deal. that's fine. But where the header is right here in this angle, it hits this cross member, so it has to be 2.5-inch exhaust, unfortunately. This is going to cure the exhaust leak on one side, which is really all I'm worried about right now, because that's the O2 sensor side. Alright, so here's where we're at so far. So the V-band is welded on, and it's welded on up here. I gotta keep this kind of out of the way and protected. Yeah, so we are gonna have to, because of this and the step down and everything, we are gonna have to chop this to right about here, because the entire exhaust system needs to move forward about 1 inch, which means the end of this, which is like right here, needs to be more like right here in order for that side to seal. Now I know you're asking yourself, why didn't you just buy 2 V-bands and do it all together? Well, let me tell you, I only bought one because this is the side I was concerned with because of the O2 sensor. But given how much of a pain in the butt it was to get the header out of here, I kind of wish I'd have done both sides all at once. But I didn't, because I'm an idiot. So we're just going to handle this side for now, and then when I have access to a lift is when I'm going to do a V-band on that side. Or I might just take it to an exhaust shop and have them put it on for me. Alright, so here we are. V-band installed. Exhaust is back on. You saw us tighten everything. I still got to figure this leak out. That's new. And check this out. I put a new starter wire on. So now instead of running right here between the frame and the header, it runs up where it's supposed to. There's a clamp down there. And then it runs up along here. And then it goes to the battery. And these are going to be tied together. And yep. Much cleaner. Another thing I can check off the list. Alright, so unfortunately we ran out of time yesterday. So the starter, I broke it. It happens, no big deal. I replaced it, now it runs. So here we are. We've got new battery cable. I did have to redo this because I broke the other terminal that I had. So this is kind of different and new. But now I've come across a new problem. If you look, these are my cables, and they're touching the tire. That's no bueno. So I'm thinking what's going to happen is they are going to get rerouted on this side of the bar, like this, and then they're going to come up here. Now I'm going to get some sort of anti-chafing, either split loom or something along those lines on there so that it doesn't chafe against this bar, which it shouldn't, but just in case, because that's going to be the next thing that leaves me stranded. I turned the wheel a little too hard, and I'm rubbing my battery cables on the tire. That's no bueno. Alright, so let's get that figured out. Let's see what we got. So now battery cables come off. They run down through here and around this bar, which I'm going to go get some chafe protection, like a big split loom or something. Put split loom around this and clean that up all nice and neat. The new battery cable for the positive is still here, obviously, and It's held in by a clamp down there. And yep, cleaned it up quite a bit, I think. And look, with the tire all the way over, I don't have to worry about hitting my wires. As a matter of fact, short of something coming up like between the engine and the sway bar and all that other stuff and hitting them, I should not have to worry about anything touching my battery cables at all, which is good. It's a load off my mind. Like I said, one less thing to leave me sit on the side of the road should something go wrong. Now that that's all done, let's see where we're at here. Exhaust leaks fixed. Wiring cleanup and battery terminals done. Alternator charge wire done. Oh, positive and negative battery cables done. We're getting there. We are getting there. GPS speedometer tuned, parking brake cables, fuel gauge. So I do have the new fuel gauge. It is installed, but it's not wired in yet. That's going to be next week. I think that's going to do it for this week. So I hope you had fun. Minor setback with the whole starter thing, and like I said, we didn't get to film it because we were in a little bit of a rush. Rich had some stuff to do, and I occupied his garage most of the day. But we got the V-band on there, which is what's important. Now we can move on to tuning and go in that route, some data logging and stuff like that. So, hope you had fun. Like, subscribe, comment, share it with your friends, do all that good stuff that helps the channel grow. So until next time, y'all keep it between the ditches and you come back and see.